And today we'll get started standing. So take your time to get situated. Feet are hips width distance apart, and we're in Tadasana, so palms are facing forward, dropping the shoulders away from the ears, open through the chest, and we're really anchored through the feet while we lift up and out of the crown of the head, almost like we're creating space between each and every vertebrae of the spine. Soft face, soft shoulders, even though they're engaged. Bring one hand to the heart and one hand to the belly. Feel the natural flow of breath coursing through your body. And then take a nice deep breath and sigh the air out. Give yourself permission to just be here, arrive here. Allow your mind to settle into your body, allowing it to experience what it's like to be you today, however that feels for you. And coming back into Tadasana, reach your arms up and overhead, draw them through heart center and fold forward. Forward, fold. Start with bent knees, grab opposite elbows. Allow the torso to rest fully and gently on top of the thighs, dropping the crown of your head completely down to the ground. Letting gravity do the work here. Release the elbows and inhale to a flat back. Fold forward once more, grabbing the ankles and slowly rolling up. Just standing once more. Inhale, arms sweep up and overhead. Draw them through heart center, Tadasana. Bring your hands to your hips and start to take hip circles here. Allow this movement to be organic. It doesn't have to look exactly like mine. Let it be intuitive to your own needs, to your own practice. Just taking some big hip circles, switch directions. Allowing it to be fluid, not much thought behind it. Allow the body to guide the movement rather than the mind. Asking it what it needs, trusting that it'll tell you. And come back through center, arms sweep up and overhead. Fold forward. And interlace the hands, bring them to the base of the neck. And use your arms as a weight. Gently pulling, not even pulling, but drawing your head down towards the ground even more. Give your neck a massage, let it feel good. Give yourself a little TLC. Allowing your arms to do most of the work here. Feel free to keep a heavy bend in the knees, or if your hamstrings are not as tight, you can gradually decrease the bend in your knees. But release the hands here. Inhale to a flat back and fold forward once more. Root to rise, head and neck come up last. Sweep the arms up and overhead. Draw them through heart center, Tadasana. Interlace your hands at the base of your spine. Straighten the arms, drawing them down towards the ground, creating space between the ears and the shoulders, opening through the chest. Take a deep breath. Let the breath expand any constriction in the upper torso. Reaching the crown of the head towards the ceiling. Look up slightly. And start to fold forward here. You can keep the hands interlaced at the base of the spine, or option to start to lift the hands towards the ceiling. And you can always start with them at the base of the spine and then choose to extend them, allowing your body to open slowly and gradually rather than forcing yourself into it. Hold here and remember to breathe. Remember to breathe through any discomfort rather than holding the breath, which is our natural tendency. Release the hands down to the back. Release the arms down to the shins and inhale for a flat back. Folding forward once more. Gently rolling up. Head and neck come up last. Arms sweep up and overhead. Draw the hands through heart center for Tadasana. Arms come out to a T for Garudasana. Arms, eagle arms left underneath right. We'll start to lift and lower the arms, lifting the fingers towards the sky and dropping them. Little pulsing motions to help open the shoulders, to help strengthen the shoulders. And we'll hold at the top here, reaching the fingertips towards the sky. Then draw them back down towards center and hold, drawing your shoulders away from your ears. So thinking about opening through the chest, rooted through the feet. and release the arms. Take some large arm circles, feeling into the full range of motion of the shoulders. Arms come out to a T once more, this time right arm underneath left for Garandasana arms. Start to pulse up and down, fingertips to the sky, elbows down to the ground a couple times. And hold here at the top, reaching the fingertips towards the sky, lifted through the elbows, lifted through the chest. Dropping them down towards center and holding. Breathing. Release the arms. Take some large arm circles once more. We're going to roll the shoulders up and back. Taking some circles with the shoulders. Let this feel natural. Drop the left ear to the shoulder and take a semicircle over to the right side, and do this a few times. Taking semicircles with the neck not rolling all the way around so as to protect the back of the spine. Bring your head back through center, reach your arms up towards the sky and fold forward over the legs, grabbing the back of your ankles. You can start to straighten the hamstrings now. Option to keep the bend in the knees is always there. Wherever you are, allowing your torso to hang heavy. Shake your head out, yes and no. Release any tension you may have in the neck. Give yourself permission to fully surrender to the posture, to the asana. Not feeling the need to rush the practice. Not feeling the need to rush through any of the poses. Bring your hands to the shin, inhale to a flat back, fold forward. Roll up slowly, arms sweep up and overhead. And let's open twist to the left. Sweep the left arm to meet the right, arms come up and open twist to the right. We'll do this a few times. Arms sweep up towards the sky, open twist. Left arm comes through, meets the right, open twist to the right side, keeping the hips square to the front of the room. Inhale, arms up, open twist left. Inhale, arms sweep up, open twist to the right. Active and engaged hands here. Sweep the arms up towards the sky. Open twist to the left side and hold, reaching from fingertip to fingertip. Feel free to bind the left arm at the low back. Right hand comes to the opposite hip. Again, squaring the hips off to the front of the room or the top of the mat. Unwind, sweep the arms up, switch sides, open twist to the right. Hook the right arm at the low back, left arm comes to the opposite hip. Feet are anchored into the ground. Reaching the crown of the head towards the ceiling. Release, arms sweep up. Exhale, fold forward. Drop the head. Inhale to a flat back. Crown of the head forward. Let's take a bend in the right knee. Left leg straightens. Right hand plants into the ground. Inhale, left fingertips towards the sky. If you have a block, feel free to bring it underneath the right hand or bring it to the right shin. This can also be more accessible if you bring the feet wider than hips width distance apart. You're drawing the left hip back, reaching the crown of the head forward. Switch sides, bend in the left leg, straighten the right. Plant the left hand into the ground and reach the right hand up towards the sky. Active top hand, reaching the right hip back, crown of the head forward. Bottom hand is just there for support. You're not dumping your weight into it. The option for the block is underneath that left hand as well. Fold forward. Inhale to a flat back, fold forward. Note that I am focusing a lot on the hamstrings here because if we sit a lot while we work, we tend to decrease the length of the hamstrings and the quads. So mindful movement before work includes stretching out those hamstrings. Let's roll up to standing. Once more. Lift the right knee up slightly and step it back for a wide-legged forward fold. Inhale the arms up towards the sky and fold over those legs. Toes are turned slightly in, heels out. Grab your ankles and start to draw your torso down towards the legs, down towards the ground, dropping the crown of the head, releasing any tension in the neck. And if weight is heavily in your heels, see if you can shift it forward so that it's evenly distributed over your toes and your heels. Shake your head out yes and no. And as you shift your weight forward, it may feel like you're going to fall forward, but this is where you use your toes to grip the ground for stability. And interlace your hands, bring it to the base of the neck, and allowing your arms to act like a weight, drawing the head down towards the ground, creating space in the neck. Maybe you massage your neck out a little bit. Give yourself some tender, loving care, honoring what it feels like to be in your body, to exist as you are. Interlace the hands at the base of the spine and start to lift them up and over the back, allowing the torso to drop even just a little bit more down towards the ground. Remembering not to hold your breath if there's any discomfort, to breathe through it. Release your hands, slowly roll up into standing, keeping your feet where they are. Turn your heels in and your toes out. Drop the hips for goddess pose, bring the hands to the knees. Dropping your tailbone down towards the ground. Palms face down and fingers face forward on the knees. Start to drop one shoulder into the center of your body line, switching sides. Dropping one shoulder and switching, really stretching through the upper body, letting the stretch come from the center of the spine. Twisting fully into it. Let it feel good. Take your time with it. Staying in any position, any modification that is calling to you, that your body's asking for. And we'll straighten the legs. Fold forward, toes in, heels out. Wide-legged forward fold. For a counter stretch to goddess pose. Bring your right hand to the ground. Inhale, left fingertips to the sky for a twist. Top hand is active, reaching for the sky. Look up. Follow your hand. Catch your drishti, single point of focus or observation. Hook or bind the top arm at the low back. Bottom hand comes to the outside of the opposite leg. Draw your torso down towards that leg, folding over the left leg. Really breathe into this one. Let this one feel really good. Stretching through the hamstrings, stretching through the obliques, and switch sides, unwind. Left hand plants, right hand lifts towards the skies, reaching the fingertips up towards the ceiling. Strong arms, strong legs. Notice if there's a difference in sides, honoring that. Top hand binds at the low back, hooks around the hip. Take a moment here, pause, and bring the bottom arm, hand to the outside of the opposite leg. Draw your torso down towards that leg, folding over. Stretching through the obliques, through the hamstrings. Allowing your mind's eye to rest in the place in the body where you feel the sensation the most. And release, unwind. Take one last moment here in wide-legged forward fold. If there's any organic movement, anything that's calling to you here, feel free to do so. And let's all meet in downward facing dog together. Hands are shoulder-width distance apart, feet are hips-width distance apart. Take a big bend in your knees to start dropping your chest down towards the ground. And we'll start to walk out our dog. Really exaggerate the bend in the knee. Lifting the hips towards the sky, high towards the sky. Remembering to push through the hands. Take your time with it. Don't rush through this part. Straightening one leg, dropping the heel, dropping the chest. And we'll find stillness. Notice how your body feels different now than it did at the beginning of practice, and drop your knees to the mat find child's pose. And this concludes the mindful movement before workflow. But if you have more time, maybe this is just the beginning and you take some time to practice, to free flow. I hope you enjoyed this flow, and I'm sending you love wherever you are. Wishing you an abundance of health, wealth, and happiness.